Welcome to Studio G's weekly recap. I've got your top stories from this week, and it starts right now. Welcome to Studio G's magazine show. I'm your host, Andre Walls. We start off today's show with what's going on around campus. The UNLV Lady Rebels had their Mountain West Conference playoffs this week. The team gave reporter Mandy Massa the scoop. Take a look.
The Lady Rebels' regular season is ended, but the team is still going full force. With a 10-8 conference record, UNLV earned a first-round bye into a whole new ballgame.
Mountain West Conference tournament, super fun atmosphere. It's lively. Everyone's fighting for their next life, so to speak. And I don't think this team wants the season to be over.
Spirits and hopes are high, and you can be certain the intensity on the court will be even higher, as every conference playoff game is winner take all.
You win these games, all these games, you can go to the NCAA tournament for sure. You know, you could have an incredible season, but that doesn't automatically get you a bid to the tournament.
I feel as if we have a great chance of beating any team in this conference. I feel like we only lost to one team, which is the top seed, Colorado State. We beat every other team.
And it's not only the players who are poised for a win. Head coach Kathy Olivier feels confident about her team's chances as well.
I feel really good about this team. I just think they have a good work ethic. They don't want it to be over, and I think that's probably 90% of it. You don't want it to be over. You're going to continue to work hard, and we're going to do whatever we can to get the W.
After losing the final 3 games of the regular season, Coach Olivier believes the Lady Rebels are ready to rebound with the conference win.
We finished the season with a couple losses, but we feel like those have been wake-up calls, and we feel like we've learned from them, and we're ready to start the Mountain West Conference tournament.
There's one more potential advantage. All conference playoff games are played at Thomas and Mack Center, and the Lady Rebels just happen to be 9-5 at home.
I think that we all really believe that we could make a run in this tournament.
I'm going for the championship ring, I'm going for some banners. I'm ready to cut down some bins.
You're going to see Lady Rebels working their tails off, and we're going to do everything we can to move on and go to the big dance, because that's our goal.
Reporting for Studio G, I'm Mandy Massa.
Unfortunately, the Lady Rebels ended their season on Tuesday at 13-17 after 64-46 loss, but we look forward to seeing them again next season. The Lady Rebels aren't the only ones focusing on their fitness. Students from the Honors College are too. They are training for a 12-mile race later this year, while still earning school credit. Reporter Monica Madrano fills you in.
Last week, I showed you a boot camp class right here on campus, but down the road, the Honors College is preparing for more than just midterms.
The honors class, they brought a whole new level of motivation. They have a goal too, though. Like, they're not just here for because it's a fun class. They have a goal. They're striving to get there, and they're preparing themselves mentally and physically for that challenge. The SoCal Tough Mudder.
Well, we have an ex-military man and then like a Spartan race champion, so we definitely have like legends teaching this class. So it's challenging.
We stick together. You know, we cheer each other on. In spite of differences in abilities and personalities, no matter who's up there trying to get over a 12-foot wall, whatever obstacle it may be, we really do come together.
Stay up, The way that it is organized is that no matter what you're capable of doing, it's going to be hard for you. If you can do more, they're going to make you do more. Like today, there were 3 of us who took off in the sprint and were the leaders, and when we won, he made us do extra.
I'm slower than most of the people here, and so it's like, come on, Jerry, come on, you can do it, you can do it, and then they come back and run with me.
Yes, it's obstacles, but you have a wall, an 8-foot wall, but it's more than an 8-foot wall. You have monkey bars, but it's more than monkey bars. That these obstacles mean something more than just the physical challenge of them. You've got amazing camaraderie that builds. I mean, helping somebody up and over a wall does something to bond you. And going through, especially if you're running the Tough Mudder, going through miles of mud and obstacles does something. You create history with one another.
There's something so different about putting your energy towards physical activity just to help yourself out physically and mentally. If you want to study, work out. That will help you study.
Yeah. Reporting for Studio G, I'm Monica Medrano.
To learn more about the Tough Mudder and similar races around the region, visit toughmudder.com. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
Teach for America is an opportunity to inspire children to be the best they can be.
When I grow up, I want to be an actor. When I grow up, I want to be a police officer.
Give Nevada a brighter future by enriching our children's lives and inspiring them to achieve their greatest potential.
When I grow up, I'll be a scientist. When I grow up, I want to be a lawyer. When I grow up, I want to be a paramedic.
It really does make an impact in their future.
You can apply online at teachforamerica.org.
Welcome back. Being smart is tough. How about smart and beautiful? A UNLV student talks to us about what it's like to be part of a beauty pageant. Ezra Maha has the story.
If you watch the video, you'll see how nervous I was. I was crying, and a lot of times people were like, "Why did you cry?" I'm like, "You guys, you don't understand the feeling you get."
Renwa Zinedine is a UNLV student who decided that pursuing two busy majors won't stop her from winning a beauty pageant.
I am majoring in biology and communications, and the reason why I picked those two is because I'm very passionate about the science field. So I do want to go to pharmacy school once I graduate, and I'm also really passionate about broadcasting and just being on TV and being a TV personality one day, which is why I added communications as well.
Aside from her personal goals, Renwa told me she has a mission that she feels responsible of.
A lot of people might have negative ideas of what an Arab woman is. So I'm trying to fight those stereotypes and prove to other people that, you know what, we're just like you. We're, doesn't mean if I'm an Arab woman, I can't go to school and pursue a degree and do all these other things on the side. I could be ambitious just like any other woman that comes from any other cultural background.
With a busy schedule, Renwa makes sure that she participates and gives back to Las Vegas and the Arab community in America.
I do attend, honestly, a lot of festivals. I do attend parades. I was at the MLK parade in January. I also attended the Del Sol parade in Arizona.
Arab USA for 2014,
For Studio G, this is Ezra Maha.
A UNLV men's pageant will be held on campus on April 29th to fundraise for a scholarship established by Miss Arab USA. For more information, visit their Facebook event page at Mr. Silver Rose Pageant. Yesterday, Dina Banning took us underground to a side of Vegas most people have never seen. Today, I'm sitting down with Dina to find out more about her experience underground. In case you missed it, let's go underground one more time.
Las Vegas is known for timeless shows, the best clubs in the country, and gaming. But just beneath those bright lights, darkness swallows the lives of hundreds of travelers and locals. The flood channels under the city are home to between 300 and 500 homeless residents at a time. The author of the book Beneath the Neon, Matt O'Brien, takes me deep into the trenches of these chilling stories.
All of them have their own little population, or most of them do, their own culture, their own artwork, their own, etiquette to a certain sense. So this is just like one small picture of, what's going on all over the valley here in these tunnels.
Now, when you think of the tunnel system here in Las Vegas and you think of the Las Vegas Strip, you think of the tunnels being the size of the Las Vegas Strip, which is only 4.2 miles long. But the intricate tunnel system is actually 300 miles long. That's 75 times the length of the Las Vegas Strip. Some people like Travis, afraid Metro will harass him if he's seen on camera, have been living in the tunnels for several years, unable to leave Las Vegas after one pull of a lever or after one hand of cards.
I moved out twice, and those 2 times I got on my feet, I got a good job, got a stable place to stay, but I ended up coming back here.
Originally from South Carolina, Travis's gambling addiction has him glued to Vegas, and he hasn't left for 13 years.
It is depressing because it's not really, a home.
But Travis is still aiming for his dream.
I wanted to own my own restaurant.
Do you like to cook?
Yes.
After spending countless hours in the tunnels, Matt became an advocate for the people living in them, starting his own community project, Shine a Light.
So I started Shine a Light as like a grassroots project to try to help the people down here, whether it's bringing them water, food, hooking them up with social workers so they can get housing and counseling.
Shine a Light has helped to house over 100 homeless people.
A lot of times we hear that the homeless don't want to be helped, that they want to be homeless, and I found that not to be the case.
This woman didn't want her family to see her living in the tunnels, so she asked not to be named, but agreed to go on camera.
What do you see for the future for yourself?
Right now it's hard to say, being that my boyfriend's just got sentenced to prison. I don't know, because we didn't expect this.
Lucky enough for many of these people, there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
I just needed time.
Do you think that time is what's going to get you out of the tunnels?
That plus, effort, hard work and effort.
It's crazy to think that all those people are living right under our feet. Thank you for joining us today, Dina. Many people have never even heard of the underground city. How did you hear about it?
So, one of my English professors, one of my first years here at UNLV, wrote the book Beneath the Neon. Matt O'Brien, he was the gentleman who brought me underground, I guess. I heard about his book in class because I had been writing an article about the homeless population being such a huge issue here in Las Vegas. And he told me about his book, and I was so impressed and I was so intrigued by it. I was amazed. And I read his book and I loved it, and it was so sad to me, and I felt like it was such an important story that had to get out. And I realized, talking about it with other people, that many people didn't know that there were people living in the tunnels beneath our feet. And so I guess that's how I heard about it.
Well, like you said, a lot of people don't know about it. So did the homeless people tell you how they heard about it? How did they find the underground city?
So a lot of the different homeless people told me that, excuse me, that they were just walking around one day, maybe saw somebody else going in under the tunnels. And Travis, actually one of the gentlemen that I interviewed for my package, he told me that he saw some guy walking down in there, creeping down in there, and he just kind of stalked after him and wanted to see where he was going. And he followed him down there, and then he said they became best friends.
That's great. A lot of people would consider it to be dangerous to go down underneath the underground city, considering that there are a lot of homeless people under there. Were you concerned for your safety at all?
I wasn't concerned for my safety because I had coordinated with my previous professor, Matt O'Brien, and I knew that he had very close relations with a lot of the people down there. He's a very strong advocate for all of them since he wrote his book, Beneath the Neon. And I knew that
he has very close ties with all of them and that he feels comfortable with them. And so him taking me down there, I wasn't concerned at all.
That's awesome. So what was your experience like underground?
Well, it's very cold. It's very dreary, a little damp, very depressing. And with speaking with the people, I can see how that darkness has really depressed them. I can't imagine living down there. And I mean, in my interviews with them, I said that to them. I couldn't imagine being down here. It seemed so cold and dark to me. And when I asked them about what it's like for them to live down there, even they said, you get used to it. They seemed very positive and optimistic about it. We have 4 walls, we have a ceiling, we have a floor, and you can't really ask for more than that, and no rent.
That's absolutely right. Well, thanks so much for being here today, Dana. It was a great story, and hope the word gets out more about the underground city. We'll be right back after this break.
I used to have to do things, bad things, just to get by.
I was scared to come home sometimes. The gang knew where I lived.
Mommy said she couldn't afford it, but I want to be a singer when I grow up. I like singing.
I'm not afraid anymore. My life has changed.
My dreams are coming true!
I realize now that my world is so much bigger.
Teach for America is an opportunity to inspire children to be the best they can be.
When I grow up, I want to be an actor. When I grow up, I want to be a police officer.
Give Nevada a brighter future by enriching our children's lives and inspiring them to achieve their greatest potential.
When I grow up, I'll be a scientist. When I grow up, I want to be a lawyer. When I grow up, I want to be a paramedic.
It really does make an impact in their future.
You can apply online at teachforamerica.org.
Wet n Wild is looking to offer something besides water to guests of the park. However, the request isn't sitting well with the neighbors in the area. Reporter Christy Zarpas has more on this developing story.
Wet n Wild is looking to offer more than just a place to cool off this summer. The water park has issued a request to Clark County to grant a permit that will allow beer and wine to be served as a drink option for guests. The facility served alcohol last summer on a temporary license, and according to Wet n Wild, it was a successful endeavor. Although a good summer, the neighbors don't seem to agree with the park and think that alcohol should not be served due to the nearby schools and potential drunk driving hazards. The park is trying to resolve the matter by only offering alcohol on non-school days, restricting consumption to a fenced-in area, and concluding service of alcohol 1 hour prior to park closure. I spoke with students around UNLV to see what they thought about the matter.
I think Wet n Wild should be able to serve alcohol because this is Las Vegas, and if you're afraid of serving alcohol at something as simple as a water park, you're probably living in the wrong state or city even. The Adventure Dome sells alcohol, Cowabunga Bay already sells alcohol, and those are both family-oriented, and many people can leave those places and drive. There's no difference. People will choose to drunk drive no matter where they are, despite the fact even if they don't allow alcohol.
I think Wet n Wild shouldn't serve alcohol because of the kids in the area. It's just like a safety thing, I guess. And I mean, we live in Las Vegas, so there's tons of places to get alcohol. And I mean, if people really wanted to, I guess they could sneak it in or whatever. But I mean, they shouldn't serve it there because it's like a family establishment.
County commissioners will have to approve the request before the park can apply for a liquor license from the county government. Commissioners are scheduled to hear the matter on March 18th. For Studio G, this is Christy Zarpas.
Thanks, Christy. County commissioners are scheduled to hear the issue on March 18th. This week on Family Friendly Las Vegas, reporter Clarissa Lovett takes us to a place on the Strip for a look behind the scenes of Celebrity Hangout. Take a look.
Madame Tussauds has over 19 locations worldwide, one of which is smack dab in the middle of the Las Vegas Strip.
We are more popular than ever. We are growing and growing every year.
The museum was originally started by Madame Tussauds herself in 1835 on Baker Street in England. Currently home to over 100 figures, Madame Tussauds has started to change up the scenery a bit. They are now home to a new exhibit that lets you get up close and personal with a few members of The Hangover.
We have the brand new Hangover experience with Zach Galifianakis and Bradley Cooper. That Zach Galifianakis figure is just amazing, and people really love to take a great picture with him in front of the wedding chapel, so it's a lot of fun.
All of the figures residing in the museum take weeks to create, and it is no easy task.
The process to make a wax figure is around 3 to 6 months, depending on how complex the figure is. We start with over 300 measurements to make the wax figures, for example, from the nose to the chin, how big the eyes are, things like that. After that, we take those measurements and create a clay head and create the body in clay as well. Once the clay is complete, we put a plaster cast around the clay mold, take the cast off and pour hot wax into that cast to make the wax head. Then the process goes into molding and finishing, where we paint all of the details onto the face and insert the hairs individually. That process alone of inserting the hair is up to 6 weeks, and it's over 10,000 individual hairs inserted into each wax head by hand.
So you think that just because your favorite celebrity is no longer with us, and Madame Tussauds does not have a figure of them currently, that you will not be able to see them? Well, no fear. Madame Tussauds has ways to make figures of people who have passed on.
So if we have a figure of the person that we made of them when they were alive, we'll take those measurements and try to translate them into what we thought that person was at the end of their life. Otherwise, we will take research from thousands of photographs to estimate measurements to be able to create that wax figure.
All that hard work put into making the figures ends up paying off for the museum, and the customers love it.
It seems so real.
Madame Tussauds is a place where you can get up close and personal with all of your favorite celebrities. And women, who wouldn't want a picture with Channing Tatum? For Studio G, I'm Clarissa Levitt.
Thanks, Clarissa. Earlier this week, Madame Tussauds unveiled a new figure of Miley Cyrus on that silver ball we know from her music video. You can see her and all the other figures at Madame Tussauds on the strip next to the Venetian. Coming up next, a few unique things to do in Vegas. Studio G will be right back.
Nearly 3,000 abused and neglected children live in foster care in Clark County because they cannot live safely at home. The CASA program is here to help these children live in safe, permanent homes. By volunteering with CASA, you can make a difference by becoming the voice for these children. Apply now at casalasvegas.org.
If you told me my best friend would have died at 19, never would I have thought it'd be from a heroin overdose. I should have seen the signs, but sometimes you only see what you want to see.
And sometimes a certain darkness is needed to see the stars. Some are never given the gift of recovery in time, so fight for your life while you still have one, because there is no hero in heroin, only those who overcome.
Last week, the Pahrump community gathered together to raise funds for their local middle school and high school with a fun basketball game. However, this was not your traditional game. Reporter Chelsea Bengal has more.
It's on like Donkey Kong!
The Pahrump community raised the bar during their annual charity basketball game with the help of their special four-legged guests.
I'm here to ride donkeys and for the donkey basketball game.
Rosemary Clark Middle School and Pahrump Valley High School collaborated with Donkey Sports Inc. to bring this fun family event to the community while raising funds for the students.
We're here to benefit the middle school and the high school for a fundraiser.
This is the third year doing it here at Pahrump.
but we've been doing it for about 30 years, doing it at different schools.
Most of the proceeds go to the actual schools. The rest goes to paying for the donkeys to get them here.
I'm here to support the local school system with this fundraiser. This is the third year that I've played. It's a lot of fun.
It's fun for the whole community. It is. People come out, enjoy watching. People, the teachers, administrators, people from the community come out, ride, have fun, and it packs the gym.
It was very exciting. I fell quite a few times. I got drugged by the donkey a couple times.
I'm the referee, and I herd them around to make sure they all doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Beating other people is what I do, is what we do. No, I enjoy riding the donkeys. It's fun. It's a fun game.
Most difficult part, nothing really. Everybody's always really good about it and all excited to play, and so everything goes pretty smooth.
At the end of the night, this unique event was successful. Donkey basketball was able to raise around $6,000.
You can see everybody's having a good time, and it's just a great fundraiser, and it's not your bake sale or your normal fundraiser.
For Studio G, I'm Chelsea Bangle.
The funds raised will go to incentive programs for their students. This was the third annual Donkey basketball game, and they hope to bring it back next year. The weather in downtown may have cooled down for the weekend, but the weather is warming up in the valley. Reporter Alyssa Stein shows us a sport that kicks up the fun.
What do you get when you take the contact of football, the game of soccer, and add bubble wrap? Knocker ball.
Knocker ball is your untraditional game of soccer, along with other games. So basically, sport of soccer, but you put yourself inside a giant inflatable ball that almost encompasses your whole body. It allows you to roll, it allows you to make impact with other people, basically to defy gravity and defy pain.
For those who have tried this contact sport, they say it's addicting, and for $10, it's the best way to let loose and have fun with friends.
It's like a rush, especially when you know you're going to hit somebody and you know you're going to get hit.
This high-energy sport allows you to knock, flip, and roll your friends without getting injured.
You roll around a bit, a lot of adrenaline going through it, a lot of fun going through it. It's a lot of fun. If anybody gets a chance to try it, you definitely got to try it. Bring your friends. You'll have a lot of fun with them. Get on opposite teams. So if you got some again, we could knock them out a little bit and they'll hit you as well.
If you're interested in this knock'em soccer sport, visit their website for upcoming events. For Studio G, I'm Alyssa Stein.
Another way to stay updated on upcoming games and events is through their Facebook page, facebook.com/knockerballvegas. Those were our top stories from the past week. Thank you for joining Studio G's Magazine Edition. Be sure to tune in Tuesday to see what's going on around campus and the Valley. Have a great Friday, the 13th, Las Vegas.